Hey, you know what? With the topic of this video, I'm gonna tell you where it's coming from. I'm thinking about people, whether it can be anything you want. It can be a sport, it could be entertainment, it could be music, it can be whatever you want. I'm thinking about how there are some individuals, you can look at it as gifted, whatever the case may be. You don't know what it took behind the scenes for them to get to where they are on the level that they are, just being good at what they do, what they're doing. I'm talking about, have you ever met somebody or not, and it's just like they came out the gates just like this. They came out with whatever they're doing. It's almost it's the ideal example on how to be, and whatever craft that they've picked. You're just like me. There's no way up. You're just that awesome. There's people that I've seen, it's just like, man, been like that from day one. I don't have anything for you. I don't have anything on where I think you could improve. Yeah, of course, I know nothing is perfect, but I'm just talking about they're just that awesome in whatever they're doing. And it's just like, hey, you can keep doing that for 20, 30 years. I'm going to still look at you from the same day that when I saw you 20 years ago up to now, I'm going to still say that you're stinking awesome. Right? Now, hold that whole image and scenario that I put in your head, and we're going to put it over here, and we're going to talk about complacency. Putting the effort forth to maybe do something. Maybe get to that first plateau. You're just so ho-hum about it. And this is good enough. Lots of room for improvement for me, but this is good enough. I'm going to just sit right here. I'm all right. That first example that we were talking about, that was consistency. The second one that I didn't really even elaborate on, that's complacency. There's a difference. Consistency versus complacency. The difference that I see with that consistency, me looking over here at that ideal example of whatever it was, whether it was singing, whatever it was, I'm just like, man, I don't see any way that you go up. You're just that awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm not looking at that as, oh, they just become complacent. Because in my eyes, that's the way that I'm seeing it. But you don't know the work that's going in behind the scenes where that person is like, hey, this album has to be better than that last one. This, whatever it is, this has to be better than that last one. Or they could just truly be gifted, where just everything they're touching is just like, hey, I'm good at what I do. I'm going to keep on trucking. Do you see the difference in those attitudes? Consistency and complacency. Consistency, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't see a top, but you know what? I'm going to keep striving like it's a top. You see this example of this setting out for others. Versus, this is all right. Hey, I'm cool right here. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. But there is a difference between consistency and complacency. Sometimes, because people got opinions about everything. I've seen sometimes where, I'm gonna just give you an example, where it might be something in entertainment. They're just like, that's just like the other one that they've done before, or that other one. In my eyes, I'm looking at it as, what? The last thing that they did was a 10. I would have rated it a 10. Okay, yes. If they're going to give me a 10 again, then give me a 10 again. Some people might say, oh, well, you just shoot up for the 11. Some people may argue there's no such thing as higher than the highest level or something. I remember, like my aunt one time was saying, how people say, oh, I'm going to give 110%. And it was just saying, that's false, because you can't possibly give more than 100%. You can split these silly little hairs however you want to. But we're still talking about cream of the crop. You're not bottom of the barrel on whatever you're doing. And to me, that's almost like you're finding something to pick at. But back to what I'm saying. If what you did, the last activity or whatever it was that you had done, I considered it a 10, and you put out another 10, and then another 10, keeping in mind, we're talking about on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. And then the next thing you put out a 10, I'm not looking at that as complacency. Maybe if you were putting out 5s, 3s, and 4s, and it was clear that you weren't trying, which that would be a judgmental attitude to have, because you can't really tell on how a person is trying unless, I guess, you're in their space and you see room for improvement. But can't anybody do that with anybody? So you could do something better? Well, you look at anything that I'm doing and say, well, you know, X, Y, Z could be done better. It's getting down to opinions. We're splitting hairs here. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this so whatever it is that you're doing, you can have the idea in your head if it's something that you're trying to excel at. Am I being consistent or am I being complacent? Do I have my absolute best foot forward? If I have my absolute best foot forward in whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to keep having my absolute best foot forward so I can be consistent and stay good at what I'm doing. Or I just got to the first level, that's good enough. I know I was aiming for level 10. I'm on level 1. This is hard. I'm cool. What are you doing? Consistency versus complacency. That's the topic of today's video. I'm Aim. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. Y'all have a good one.